6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Chronicles.
Welcome to the Chronicles.
J123. Let's go ahead and get into this theme song. What you feeling today, yo?
Hey, go reggae.
Okay, ready?
Boom,
pa pa boom, pa 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 boom, pa pa boom, pa pa boom, pa 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 boom.
We got the Chronicles. We got the Chronicles.
We got the Chronicles. We got the Chronicles. We got the Chronicles. We got the Chronicles. We got the Chronicles. We got the
You want a little Chronicles? You telling something? Crocodile. Okay.
Yo, what's up, yo? So,
hey there, yeah.
I'm about to say, man, I go by the name of Jarrell T.G of the Griosphere Productions.
Yeah. That's you. And I'm Jasmine Nicole. Can I just introduce myself? And I'm Jasmine Nicole, all in one voice. Yes. But did you want to give me another introduction or something?
I mean, we're getting all that. Y'all figure out why we're here as we go forward. But this is called the Chronicles of J123, the Precursor. Y'all gonna figure out exactly why as we go through this process together. But I'm gonna say to all of you that are watching, welcome to the family. Y'all have officially joined the J123 family. Y'all also figure out why even our name is what it is.
Yeah,
y'all gonna
we can get a breakdown.
Y'all gonna get a breakdown of a whole bunch,
it's
man.
It's so intricate, like in real life.
Man, so
it's cool.
we came on this and we figured we would make a podcast starting as a kind of to chronologize. Yeah, that was the word that I actually looked up because I was trying to figure out what was the verb. I guess that would be the verb for Chronicles. Chronicles is the noun, so I was trying to figure out the verb.
Chronicleize.
Yeah. So we're going to chronologize the whole journey, man, because as you'll see, you know, we finding purpose in a lot of what we're doing and what we're trying to get accomplished, and the more that we began to grow and realize that, the better that our relationship has gotten. So this is going to be called the Precursor. We're going to give y'all the whole backstory. We got a couple episodes, so sit back, sit tight, and we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. So first of all, I'm going to let you know, if y'all watch any of the other podcasts on Artful Conductor TV, we got the Feeling Trigger podcast that we are in our second season right now, so y'all can go check that out. You was a guest.
Yes.
You was a guest on one of the
I made an appearance
episode this season.
They allowed me to come.
You already know what it is. Like we gotta we always like to have a little something because I feel like, socially it's okay, Not overindulgence, but we like to sip a little something while we having our convos. So today we got the privilege of sipping on none other than Phenomenon cocktails, guys.
They're so good.
Oh my goodness!
So
Shout out
good.
to Phenomenon cocktails. A great organization by a fellow Clipper. I went to Oxford High School and was one of my fellow classmates. Opened up a cocktail business doing specialized custom cocktails. They also offer full bar services for your events, for your birthday parties, for whatever, in a variety of forms. So you can either get the full bar where they got the wines and whatever type of liquor you like to drink right there on hand with the bartender present to make sure that your party is pumping. If of course you want to just get a bulk order of the custom drink, you know what I'm saying? This is a culture. You know what I'm saying? I had this at Propel Bosses last week, and fire. Which one you got, babe?
This is Love from the Disney collection. I think that's what they said. But it's Love.
That's what's up. So check them out, follow, and keep up with that journey because I know that company is going to be taking off very, very soon. So shout out to Phenomenon Cocktails.
Shout out.
That's what we're going to be sipping on during this episode. Shout out to the Equation merch.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? Get that on. Click the link in my bio on Instagram at Jarrell the Griot, or you can go into _ the Griot Fit and hit the link in that bio. You can get the official Equation merch, and it's just the way we live life, man. As y'all can see, it says passion plus purpose equals prosperity. And as we continue to talk about our journey, y'all will understand what that means a lot more. But it's simple and plain. You take your passion, you find a reason why you're doing it, and that's what's going to lead you to the success that you want. That go past money. That's life fulfillment from the perspective that we coming from. So we gonna start it off. What we want? You want to do?
Do the first segment.
We're gonna do Who Said It first. So we got a segment that we like to call Who Said It. Now, Who Said It is a game that we kind of subconsciously realized
we accidentally started playing because you'll get into more of the real story, all of that later, but we kind of like the same person, so it just happened that we share a lot of the same movie quotes and use them in regular life as if it were a part of like it's some of y'all out there who are like that too.
Facts,
my bad.
Facts.
But
you got it.
So the movies or a song, like, and you say it. So yeah, and then it's like, hey babe, do you know where this from? All right, but I bet you won't know that one. So yeah.
So how we gonna play on the game? So I actually added a couple rules to the situation. So, all right, we're gonna throw out a random quote. You know how we do, random movie quote, song quote, or whatever. And the person has to try to guess the correct movie or artist. Movie or song, and whoever said it. All right. So it's 2 points that you can get. At least 1 point will win you, but if you get the bonus point,
which is what again?
2. So you get 1 point for the movie or the song, and then you get 1 point for the person who said it. So the character or the singer or rapper, whatever. And so if you get whoever wins for this episode gets what I call one fact check. Meaning with you telling the story, I'm telling the story. If you got that fact check, I can stop you and I can say what it is, potentially, because it's called the BS or fact check.
Okay.
So what can happen is, if you have a perception of a story or event, and I have a perception of a story or event, and I have that BS fact check, I can take that, your perception, and for that part of the perception, I can say what I think it was, and that be the fact. All right, so y'all got to remember.
For me, watch my facial expression.
But listen.
Okay.
So, but that means you gotta win. You gotta win. Who said it? Then you gotta win. Who said it?
But
so,
all right.
So in honor, it's the first episode. You the lady of J123. So I'm gonna let you go first. But I'm good at this game, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour a little bit of my Why you giving me my situation? Go ahead.
I hope you know it.
See, I'm trying to tell you, come on.
I'm just so darn bored. That's it.
Come on, man. That's too easy. That's cool.
You said softball.
That's Donkey from Shrek. That's Donkey from Shrek. Absolutely.
And I did the boops that he was doing first in the joint.
I got you. Okay, so that's 2 points for me. That's 2 points for me. I'm going to give you a softball too. All right, here you go.
Matilda. Nope. That is.
No, I know.
Oh, well, it could be. Oh, no. That's Why the Fools Fall in Love.
Who's singing though?
Frankie Lyman.
All right, good job. All right, so we both get it. We both got a BS fact check. But y'all see how it's played. That was just the first, the first one. So it's going to get a little bit harder.
It'll be better.
But play along in the comments when we do our who said it. You know what I'm saying? Play along in the comments. And if y'all think that y'all have one that's good, I'm going to be in the email. She's not. So y'all going to be giving me suggestions to give to her. So send it to artfulconductorTV at gmail.com, or you could just go ahead and send it to my my DMs on, or you can send it to her in DMs on. Nah, don't send it to her. You're tripping. Y'all wildin'. Get out of here. Ladies, y'all can have y'all little situations. Hey, fellas, with all due respect, Grill doesn't play that. All right? Let's just get that out the way. But bless y'all. Bless y'all. All right? But anywho, so that's why we're going to play. But good thing for our first episode, just because we're going to try to get in the swing, get in the flow of things. We both got a BS fact check. So we'll see how that goes when our next segment starts up, which is story time. So I figured, since it's the first episode, we have to give the literal, not when we actually got together, but like the first meeting story. All right, so you want to start the first story? You want to start or you want me to start? Either way, because we're going to both give our sides.
You start.
All right, man. I'll start. Salute. So, let's take it back. Okay. This is the summer of 2016. At the time, I had I just graduated from college, and I'm tripping. This is 1 year after college. No, I got you. Okay. This is 1 year. Not a full year, but one. Yeah, it was a full year. Wow. So this was probably 1 year out of college. Yeah, because this was 2015, summer 2015. And I had just quit. I was working as a manager down at Tenga Outlets at a watch station. Shout out to them because, I got my watch game on crazy while I was working there. But I realized they was trying to push me to go, continue to climb the ladder, go corporate. Y'all know how commercial, retail goes. They try, push me to go corporate. I knew that's not what I wanted to do in my life. So I said, after May, I'm going to go back to my old faithful, which was Camp Cornerstone. Shout out to them. Because every time a brother needed a little situation, something that I could do between school or whatever, they always held a brother down. So shout out to them. I said I'm about to work both for the summer, and then by the fall, I got to do something different, right? So summertime comes. I'm walking through the yard, walking through the hallway at camp, and one of the administrators from the school where the camp is housed came up to me and was like, "Hey, you trying to work here next year?" And I already had some first ambitions of getting in the classroom and working with kids, because that's been a passion of mine for as long as I can remember. That's always been one. That was my first job ever. So, that just seemed like the right thing to do. As a young black man, I feel like I can make a difference in the classroom before anywhere else, while I'm trying to get myself established in whatever career I'm trying to do. So I was like, hell yes, definitely. I was like, yeah, for sure. So I went to the interview. Of course, they already knew my reputation. But as a black, got my contract. Came to orientation. Boom. And I'm in the building. And I walk in. And it's this cute little girl, young lady, excuse me.
Excuse you.
Sitting on the yeah, you definitely
Shut up. All right, hey, that's enough.
Because she was dressed like a 25, 30-year-old woman.
I have an old soul, okay? That's it.
The first time that we officially met. We hadn't really even spoken yet. That was just literally the first time that we met eyes. And we would do that a couple more times in this story. But I'm going to let you bring us up from your perspective. What happened for you? How did you get to where we met?
Whatever.
Go ahead.
All right, so yeah, my side of the story. You said 2015?
Yeah, that was summer.
Summer 2015 was sucky because I didn't have a job. I had been out of college for some years, and the people that college don't really prepare you for life. So right after that, college, I'm thinking life about to start. Ooh, lost the job. I started off with an okay job, but it wasn't a job in the field. Anyways, government. Long story short. Anyways, that summer was kind of a sad summer for me, I believe. because I didn't have no job, and it was like I had all this drive and stuff. So yeah, I was like, dog, I need a job. Then my friend LaShawn, she had posted just I was needing a job. Shout out to LaShawn. She posted on Facebook, was like that her job was looking for some teachers or whatever. I do that or whatever. So gave her. She was like, well, just send me my resume, and because she had already like had an in at the school, she worked there already. So she was like, yeah, I could just kind of like give you the resume and you'll be good. I'm like, best was kind of like I already got a job, definitely. So things are going uphill. This is looking great for me. I'm excited, a little nervous, but because still something new. And about me, like I get a little bit anxious every time I'm about to do something new. Anyways, so yeah, came in. It was all excited, nervous. LaShawn greeted me, or she didn't greet me. Was she there? I don't remember.
For
my interview. Yeah. For my interview. She was there for my interview.
She wasn't there.
Yeah.
So you must have interviewed like way earlier.
I don't know. No, because what the heck? So I had the interview, and then the orientation was like a whole different day.
Mine was.
Yeah, okay, so it must have been, in my memory, I might have made it all up. But no, in my 2 days. So yeah, I had my interview, and LaShawn was there because she did greet me for the interview. So then, if you don't remember her being there, that wasn't that day.
Nah, it wasn't the same day that we had my interview was like, yeah. But you probably interviewed like earlier, like maybe like in the spring.
Yeah, probably, yeah, because if you were last minute.
My job was last minute,
yeah.
But
so had my interview, and heard back. LaShawn was like, yeah, your interview went good or whatever, and the school, it seemed like a perfect match. I was like, wow. The principal was telling me about all of a lot of the staff were like musicians and singers. She was like, oh, we got a little choir in here, because they ask you about your passions and all this stuff. And I honestly, teaching and music in particular, singing. And she's like, oh yeah, so many singers in here. I'm like, okay, great. And so yeah, it was a good little experience. Anyways. So that was that. Then the orientation day.
Yeah.
I was already sitting there, I believe. I was already on the bench that was like outside of the principal's office. And that was like where people were kind of congregating when they first got there in order to get their instructions for what we're going to do next. And then so I was sitting there, and then he walked in. And yeah, I don't know why, but for me, it was just like a guy. And like in real life, it was like, you just have those thoughts. Because now, during this time also, I don't think I was really messing with nobody. Like I wasn't talking to no guys or anything. So he walks in, I'm like, like, but it's the like, oh, he's a nice looking guy. Oh, but he's a guy. Like he's nice looking. So I don't know. Something just in me, it changed a little bit. It's like, and then it's like, I wonder. Yeah, child. So that was me.
Yeah, man. But okay, so throughout our story time, what we like to do is what we call a breakdown. So within that, give a little backstory on some stuff, give a little bit more insight on some things. So I'm gonna ask her some questions, you gonna ask me some questions, and we just gonna kind of flesh out our thoughts and feelings about the whole situation, like prior to us meeting each other all the way up to that point. So I gotta ask you, I feel like I'm gonna name 3 aspects of like I feel like your personality, like that was built up from childhood experience and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna name 3 things, and I want you to kind of explain how you feel like that had a direct effect on who you was showing up as in that moment.
In that moment.
In that moment, like who you were.
Okay.
So let's see. I'm gonna say churched. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say only child. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say single parent household. That wasn't one word, but you get it. 3 concepts. So yeah, so give me that, describe those personality traits. Where did they come from? All that good stuff.
Like in general, or you?
Yeah, just getting people.
Oh, okay.
Just a little background,
Cool.
who you are.
So you said churched.
Churched.
I've grown up. Is that right? I grew up in church all my life. So I was born into the church. My mother was saved before I was born, and then she stayed in the church and still is in the church and all of that great stuff. So because of that, bam, I was born in the church. And now also another little category, is not in the same order, but it fits into the story. I was an only child, or I am an only child, and to a single parent. There you go. So I was only raised by my mother because my father is deceased. So therefore, it's just me and my mom. So wherever she went, I was like, yeah. So church was it. You got Sunday there. I don't remember Monday. I think Monday was like a day of rest or whatever. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I ended up going to another place, like just like church. It was rehearsal. And then Friday was church. And then Saturday was church. So yeah, I was definitely church. All my friends were church and all that stuff. So church is me. However, I was blessed to have not the typical church experience, because my church was a homey church. It was not like a family, a small family church or whatever. It wasn't a mega church of today, you know. We all grew up together. Like the kids grew up it was like a family. So like a lot of the church hurt that a lot of people have today, or I can't say I really identify with it, but I have experienced it third hand or seen other people, because me always being in church, I was in that community all the time, church folk, and they got their own story and their own church hurt. Anyways, churched, yeah, that's all.
That's it. And in comparison, I consider myself to be somewhat church adjacent. So that means that I wasn't completely detached from, a church home. As I talked about, Camp Cornerstone was the camp that was a part of my church, and then eventually the Christian school that was, attached to the church as well. So as a throughout my whole existence, I was kind of there sometimes, but not fully immersed as
in the
you was.
culture.
In the culture, there you go. That's a good explanation for it. So I got some of the customs. There you go. I got some of the customs, but I wasn't engulfed in the culture as much as you were. So I think that did definitely have an effect on us growing up.
Because I could speak the churchanese, or Christianese. That's what they call it. I could speak the Christianese and all that stuff, and him not so much.
Facts. All right, so and only children. We both are only children. And it was ironically that's as y'all see, it's a lot of similarities here. Ironically, both from single mothers. Both were single children to our mothers, and both have two siblings from our fathers. That's
and
wild.
From the jump, that's all.
That's before even knowing, that's wild. That's a wild setup right there. That's a wild setup. Your dependence, not on men. Like how you said, your father's deceased and you lost him at a really, really young age. So, like we talked about, it didn't leave a space for, a man to even, because it wasn't like he let you down or he wasn't around.
I don't have that fatherless story. I don't,
Yeah, so, and I feel like because of that and because your mom was so, so everything to you, you know what I'm saying? Great. Her mom's awesome. She's a dope individual. We'll talk about her a little bit in some point in time because she's very interesting. I've had some great conversations with her. But from the fact that she was kind of everything, she didn't leave a bitter hole for a man in your life like that. So I think that carried in its own way into who you are. Yeah. So like,
That's a good answer.
I mean, we've dove into these topics and made me think about it a little bit. So we get into, like I said, I walk in the door. Let's go back to the story. I walk into the door and see her, and I play it cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty friendly, personable guy, so it's not like I came in like with an attitude or anything like that. You know, spoke to everybody that was standing in the lobby or whatever, and I knew, you know, the principal already. I knew the security guy that's at the front desk already, so I was kind of chopping it up with the security guy a little bit. Sat down, hey, how you doing? You know, not making it too. I wasn't too like, you know, because like I said, I had a girlfriend, so I wasn't on display to be like chatting, jump stepping, and all that. So I was chilling. But still.
But you must have walked in with a certain type of energy. I'm telling you, because in my head it was like.
Because at the same time I already know like it's a school, so like I'm expecting to be outnumbered by women, like, and that's, you know, fortunate. It's like the fortunate part of that is I don't really, you know, it's not to say even guard, but it's a way that men present themselves when they're in front of other men versus when they're in front of mostly women. It's like I don't have to be as, maybe that's a little bit, you know, the quote unquote toxic masculinity, but I don't really feel that way. It's just, and you know, some of the men, you know, all my guys that are watching, y'all can attest, like it's a certain way you present. So because I already know that it's not gonna be a lot of men, it's a different kind of presentation. So I was just a little bit more, you know, smiling, personable, just to be. You know, I think it's subconsciously, especially as a black man, subconsciously you gotta be like a little bit more chill, not to be seen as threatening around.
I noticed you.
Yeah, so, you know, I know, but I also noticed you noticed me. I ain't say nothing because, you know what I'm saying, cool,
we gonna get to the noticing of the notices.
I mean, it was a real significant thing that happened, but overall,
and that was me noticing that you was noticing me.
Okay, all right.
Hello.
So we ready to start orientation. We walk upstairs. We go into this big classroom, sit in a circle, and just start chopping it up. You know, I tell them a little bit about myself. This is way before I really kind of had a solid foundation in who I was, who I wanted to be. But I had interests. I had goals and stuff like that. But I'm talking about real like purpose, like. So, you know, I talked about I was doing music heavy at the time that I had just dropped Rebirth of Real. That was my first ever like mixtape full project that I put out. That was back when I was still J-Real. That was the days, you know what I'm saying, straight out of college, whatever. So I was talking about my music. They already knew that I was really good with kids because, like I said, I worked a few summers at quite a few summers actually. At Camp Cornerstone, so they already knew kind of my rapport with the kids and everything, and so I kind of just gave my spill a little bit. Then Shorty started talking, and she was kind of basically saying the same stuff.
Because I had like all my jobs before were in early childhood education, teaching at a summer camp, being a camp counselor / music counselor there, and then working with like infants at another like daycare type thing place. Bright Solution. What's the name of it? Whatever. Working there from infant early childhood. That's what I'm saying. That was what my whole resume was. And then come to find out, then we started talking about the music stuff, and then because the principal started asking questions, we ended up getting into these small. She broke us off into smaller groups. Oops. And
to see that.
Way to go. Broke us off into smaller groups, and were we in the same group?
Nah, we wasn't. It was me.
Or then when we came back,
it was you and Jessica. Shout out Living Imagination.
Hey,
yeah. We got mad business on the friends, which is really dope, by the way. Mm-hmm. Y'all will shout them out as they pop
as they come up.
But
yeah. So then we went into the smaller groups, and then I guess we must have came back to the big group to share out and stuff. You know, real teacher stuff.
Facts.
And so we came back to share out, and then he ended up talking about how he was into music. And, okay. And then I'm saying I'm into music. We got the education stuff, so we like kids and we like music. I'm like, this young man is interesting.
That young man. Oh, because that technically is young man, because she is older than me. Yeah, I don't. But nobody would guess that. You don't look like.
Don't do that. I know I don't look like that.
Black don't crack, baby. Yeah. You don't look like you about 15 for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. It's all good. I ain't mad at it. But yeah. So then we get to we about to leave this little spot. We about to leave the school, and the principal's gonna take us out to lunch. And we go to Chevy's, and we sitting right across from each other, and we literally end up ordering the exact same meal, which was, by that point in time, it's like, all right, yo, this is getting a little weird. Like, this is what is happening.
We're both picky eaters, like, so it's like, no onions, no tomatoes, no, like, everything. Yeah, I'll have it the same way. I want it just like
my palate has grown a lot since then.
So is mine. Not that much, but a little bit.
But that's yeah. So we sitting at the table. Now this is where
here we come.
Where we might, where it's gonna get a little shiesty. So we sitting at the table. She says that I'm looking at her like and giving her like eyes. I was looking up from the perspective of, I see that you keep looking at me.
But we are sitting directly across, right. Like we're at a booth and we're sitting directly across from each other.
So it's like we keep locking eyes with each other, like, never, it wasn't said, nothing was really, none of that.
But I just kept, finish telling you. I just kept happening to notice that every time I look up, this young man is in my face. But then, when you lock eyes, but then you lock eyes a little bit too long, like the rest of the whole conversation is over here, everybody casual, and it's still, right into your eyes. And like he never looked away to laugh at everybody else. So it's like, okay, all right. There's something here. I think I got him.
Oh, okay.
I got him.
All right.
Mm-hmm. That's how it went.
All right. Mm-hmm. So, that's how we first officially met, and then of course the school year started. But that moment kind of set a little bit of spark in the air that we will further elaborate on next episode. So y'all gonna have to tune back in to continue to get the rest of the story. But we're gonna go into our last segment of the episode, which we entitle God's Message, because of course, we both have like, what would you call them? Like, I guess pillars of life. That's what we say. Pillars of life, pillars of inspiration, where we pull from, and what kind of drives us. That quote unquote that passion part of our existence, right? Mm-hmm. So with that passion, both of us have a passion for God. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things. That's the G in both of our pillar abbreviations, sure. Right?
Yep.
So, what's yours? Tell them what yours is.
God, love, and music.
All right, so GLM, okay? Mm-hmm. That's her pillars of life. That's the things that she pulls from. That's what drives her. That's her things of her biggest points of interest. All of that. That's her passion. Okay, that's what she burns for, right? My pillars are God, art, and culture, because I feel like those are the things that drive me, that push me. As y'all know, I'm Jarrell the Griot, so the Griot is responsible for all of those things in terms of cultivating those stories about the culture. Giving it through the art and speaking to the soul, which is, belongs to God. So that's my pillars. So, of course, we have to make our closing segment something God related. Mm-hmm. Go to the good word and see what we get from it. Mm-hmm. So I decided for our first God message, I think for me, and I would say for you too, I think you can agree, that a good piece of word, a good scripture to go to would be Jeremiah 29:11. Do you know what Jeremiah?
For I know.
For I know.
Hey!
For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord.
Plans to what?
Plans to prosper you.
Yeah.
Not to harm you. You know.
To give you hope.
And it goes on, goes on to say in 12 and 13, to give you a hope in the future. And you call upon me and come and pray to me and I will listen to you.
Yeah.
And then you will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. So why I chose this is for a couple of reasons. Because of what the magnitude of what he's saying. For I know the plans that I have for you. He has a overarching theme. He's the ultimate creator. He's the ultimate story writer, right? So he already has a grand plan. But within that grand scheme, you have your own character arc as well. You have your own storyline. You have your own plot that fits into that great story. And from that, he's planning to prosper you, right?
Because all things, they end up working for the good.
For the good. So he's planning to prosper you with this purpose that he has for you in the story. So you just take the passion, which are the gifts, the passion. When you have a passion for something, when you have a burning desire to do something, that's God given. That's a gift, right? So, the gift is also prospering as well. If you have a flowing creative entity, you have a flowing something that just makes you different, makes you unique, that's prosperity all in and of itself. Because everybody don't have that, which I've realized at in the latter years.
Age.
So with that, I feel like how we just told this story, all of the things that were so intricate about our lives even before we got to that point, it's like it was meaningful. It was a part of the plan. It was a divine design
It ended
for
up
it to
being
happen like that.
It was a setup. It was a strategy that God intended for us to play, because it was an intricate. It is, because it's still evolving. It's still happening.
It's forever going
like
on.
the plan did not stop. Like we just jumped in, and now we're kind of recognizing it, but it's still very much so playing out. But yeah, we get into alignment, and it's so intricate, but everything it worked, and then it set you up for the moment, even to see, because I was for me before that, so desperate for a job, so I'm like, forget it, I'm definitely going to be here, and then I'm hopeful and all of this stuff. Anyways, yeah, hopeful, and then I see you. And then not even just him, he was definitely a huge blessing about that job, but the job, it was provision. Like it was a setup. God, yeah, he worked it out.
I feel that. And I feel like as you said, the story's still being told. A lot more of those moments begin to happen where you start seeing you were exactly who you're supposed to be and where you're supposed to be at, individually, but then that individual, divine placement fed into the collective divine placement. And it's just like all you can say is wow, God, you have always kind of had a level of understanding, so much understanding about us, even before we came, that you did what was necessary. And we even go back to talking about for me, for example, how my youth was set up was intricate. Even go to the smallest of us being the only people that have ever played who said it with one another, though that was a game that we constantly played. And when I tell you, I get real, we can start having whole conversations using movie quotes that make sense in the moment, that is meaningful, but both know the references. Like we oftentimes get caught in inside jokes. Like we that couple in moments, and in public, environments and all that, getting caught in inside jokes, just kind of looking at each other like, you heard that. I know you heard that, and then talk about it later. Like, so it's so many things that was like both minuscule and super
It was all divine.
elaborate. That was all like meaningful and divinely placed and intentionally placed. So I just like thank God for that. Like I thank God for those little things, because I feel like that's the type of stuff that's going, push us past all the obstacles, which we'll get to as well. We're gonna get into a lot of things on this jump, and just kind of give a full outline aspect, of our time. If for y'all, definitely, that those who decide to take this journey along with us, but for ourselves, I feel like this is going to be a little bit therapeutic, in a way, just to kind of reminisce and see.
And then we always got this chronicalization to go back to when we want to remember the chronological
and all that stuff. So, and I think I'm gonna go ahead. We can throw some pictures like on this part while we're talking, and to kind of just give y'all some background. She found a couple little things that we can show from
the beginning, time. The first
and selfies. We might do that at every episode. Like after we finish doing the story time and all that, we'll throw a couple of pictures, maybe a video or two, at the end, and just let y'all kind of see what's going on for that part. I think that'd be cool. All right, man. So that was about 50. We can kind of, I guess we can end it here.
Probably.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So what you want to do? You want to pray out? We can pray out. I think we should pray out.
Okay, you do the first prayer since you was late to say that, and then I got you. I didn't know before.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have to be.
All right.
To pray, but
feel free. Bow your heads with us. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity to speak on love and to speak on your goodness and how you are so divinely creative, that you took the time and the intricacy to create us in the complexities that we are, and then align us with one another, and for us to be the perfect partners to learn and grow and sharpen one another with. And I thank you for this platform, that we may speak to something in somebody's hearts that may help them better understand, whether it be themselves, whether it be your goodness, or whether it be, their relationship. However we can be of benefit and be vessels for blessings and for wisdom to come to others, we want to be those people, and we want to use this podcast to do that. So thank you for giving us this platform, and we want to continue to do only what is in your will. So where your will, I know there is a way. I know there is a way for, eyes to get on this and see what you have been growing for such a long time, and is continuing to cultivate. We just want to say thank you for everything.
Thank you,
and thank
Jesus.
you for all that you are to us, and who you always have been to us, even before we knew. And we say thank you for the fans. Thank you for all of the provision, for everything.
Thank you, Jesus.
We just want you to be in the midst always. And we want you to be driving this boat, driving this ship, driving this being the captain of this voyage. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
So we have officially reached the end of our first episode of the Chronicles of J123, the Precursor. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Artful Conductor YouTube. I keep forgetting how to say it. Artful Conductor TV.
There it is.
YouTube page. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button.
Buttons. Get the bell.
Make sure y'all hit that bell so y'all know when we drop. Make sure y'all go ahead and add this playlist to y'all library so y'all got the whole thing there to watch, and y'all can share it with each other. Make sure y'all just keep supporting, because this is only the beginning. And we're going to have some special things for our Chronicle riders we thinking about a name for who y'all gonna be. But we wanna connect with other singles and couples and help in whatever way we can, collaborate, support the products, all of that stuff, man. So make sure y'all keep tuned in. Make sure y'all follow us on all our social media platforms. They'll be in the bio, in the comments, and all that good stuff. Anything else you want to say to them before we get up out of here?
Let's just keep love alive.
Keep
and our light shine.
Love alive and keep that light shining.
Keep
the
love alive and keep that light shining. I said keep what? The love alive and keep that light shining. I said to keep love alive and keep that light shining. See you. Bye.
Holla.